Hello and welcome back to another episode of World of Warcraft Hardcore. My name is Syken and today we are continuing the journey of our shaman Syken Shox, who is going to quest through 1,000 needles, one of my favorite mid-level regions. I got all of the world buffs and we are ready to slay, guys. So first off, we are going to start with some centaurs here. Pacify the centaurs. There's also an assassination plot happening, and yeah, that is going to be the start. We're going to go in with Rockbiter weapon, and I think we're just going to do the standard route here. Shoot into using our world buffs, which are mainly focusing on melee damage, so hence we are going to use a lot of melee. Alright, let's go. Pulling them all out. We need a couple of scouts. Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, fun fact, if I remember correctly, the good old Wind Fury quests, so wind totems in general, they were also here in Thousand Needles. So we couldn't have made a better plan. And once I get the Wind Fury, things will change. It's gonna be massive. Alright, on top of that, I will need to mine for ore. We have fallen a little bit kind of behind the curve. Oh, that was clean. Damn, we're slaying, but thanks to the world buffs. Good. I'll fast forward this here because it's really just going through the mobs. And once we're done, we're continuing with the next quest. Alrighty, so in a matter of just a few minutes, we were fighting our way through all of them. And I think what we're going to do next is we're going to get that Galak messenger, and then we're trading in for follow-up. I also would want to consider this time Test of Faith, which is a quest that could be potentially level, but I haven't shown it in any of the previous playthroughs, so might as well do it now whilst we still can. Good. So the assassination plot is relatively simple. We're just needing to find that messenger, and once we have him, we need to kill him. We'll get a note from him, and that'll trigger a couple of just follow-up quests, really. Yeah, we can't get into the middle. That is unfortunate. Tin Vein, rip. Good. Let me get the messenger. He roams the street here, which is fine. We potentially won't do the elite quest. I don't feel like kiting an elite. And let me see how many... Fast forwarding until we will hopefully find someone someone else, either for the elite quest or until we find that messenger. Alright, against all odds we have found ourselves a partner in crime. Another shaman. I don't know what it is with shamans nowadays, man. But there are quite a few running around. So we're going to do the elite quest together. He is already on the way. Even mentions perfect timing. He was right next to the pickup. I mean, sometimes you're lucky, right? So this here is the target of our problems. An enraged panther that needs to be killed. And we got a one-hand wielding orc. I like it, okay. Cool. Good. Well, let's get a couple of totems going. I think this would suffice, and this, and this. And let's give it a go. Let's give it a spin, as they say. Why am I the one being taunted here? I am happy that I didn't do that quest all by myself. Very nice. That's actually an upgrade for me. Thank you. And we got one more quest under our belt. Took only... I don't even know how I took aggro. Well, he might not have a weapon going. But be it as it may, double shaman for the win.
Time is money, friend.
Thank you for your help. Always be polite. I think I'll stick with my ring for now. And we're back to searching that career. Alright, still haven't found the career, and I will now leave it up to chance if and when I pass. I don't want to waste any more time there. We are going to do the test of faith instead.
What brings you here?
Where we are supposed to jump down here, test of faith, leap from the planks overlooking the 1,000 needles, objective completed, and just before we die, we're being teleported back. That leaves us with the test of endurance, which we're going to do right there, but that's a difficult, or way more difficult quest, because we will need to fight against waves and waves of mobs. But when should we do it if not now, when we're like fully world buffed? I think it's an excellent opportunity for us, only interrupted by our continuous need to mine. You need a certain level of mining in terms of getting kind of to the next tier of material, and very soon that tier will be iron only. And the problem is the cutoff for that is 125, which is relatively difficult to obtain, surprisingly. So, we have a potential quest here called Alien Egg. So let's see if we can get that one going. And we also got Gibblesnick, a rare mob. Might as well take this guy down. In our current buffed form, we can take on quite a few enemies actually. Superior Gloves of the Monkey. Very good. So the alien eggs are over there. So let's just clear it out. These are even leveled mobs, and we're still having quite an upper hand, as you can see. Not surprisingly, because we are absolutely smacking raid buffed, so what would you expect, eh? So there was a chance for an egg here to spawn. As with many things in life, once there is a chance, it doesn't mean that it will materialize. Got 2 more areas where that could spawn, and we're going to check out both. So careful here, Saiken. We also don't want to foolishly get ambushed with 0 mana. There's the alien egg. Luckily, that won't spawn anything. It's really just there for us to collect. Cool. Done deal. Once we're level 31, we got a wonderful new shield there. Very good. Lots of stuff to sell. I'm just ordering the bags a little bit, and now it's time for a trade-in. Almost the favorite part of questing for me, because it's like massive free XP on top of stuff that you anyways were doing.
Greetings.
I have just the thing for you. Well met.
Cool.
Maybe.
So I think there was a wanted poster. Yep. Arna Grim Totem. That will be right up here.
The winds guide you.
And we got Test of Endurance, which I think should be the next quest that we are going to do. Maybe then into Wind Riders. Sure, why not? That compound over here is also quite difficult. So yeah, let's do Test of Endurance, which is really fighting in that cave. There's a reason why that is ultra red, because many people die at that quest, but we still got 6 minutes of our world buff from the head of Ren Blackhand, so now is the perfect time to do it. And then afterwards we're going to kill some wyverns. Oh, I very much know what this quest is about. Let's see if we find someone to help us with that. Because I remember that quest was actually quite gnarly. Alright, whilst I'm searching, Fast forward for you. Alright, we're back in business. So, we got ourselves a friend. Funnily enough, yet another shaman. I don't know what it is with shamans, but they seem to be in high demand nowadays. Anyways. He needed to do the pre-quest. Was understandably skeptical about just jumping off a cliff. Anyone who's playing hardcore doesn't want to throw the life of their character away that easily. But after a little bit of convincing, he actually did it. And he will be rewarded with a nice quest line. Him and I will go into that cave. And the reason why I'm asking for another one is I know exactly what is going to happen in this cave. And I can tell you with confidence that it's not going to be fun. This here is the Ledge of Doom, very easy to fall down and also kill yourself in the process. So we're going to go in. That in itself is not the biggest problem. I mean, it is not easy, but it's not the biggest problem. The enemies inside of the cave are kind of even level to us, so that is that. What is going to be the biggest problem is the actual quest, which is typical multiple waves incoming quest. And if I'm not mistaken, it was 233 or even 234. So a plethora of mobs without any break in between. Shamans are good at burst damage, fantastic even, but their sustained DPS, specifically when they are running out of mana, isn't great, and the crowd control is mainly coming from kiting. You can imagine that inside of a cave, in a endurance situation, the shaman does not necessarily excel as a class, and I need to kind of appreciate just what my class can and cannot do. That's part of playing the game as well. And of course I could now try to strong arm it. But it would very likely lead to me becoming one more guy on that red field of death. Good, we're drinking up. Our friend is out there. He's hopefully not going to F up his way up here. I don't want him to die. And surely not even prior to us getting in the cave. Oh yeah, and I forgot some of the harpies. Also, the screecher harpies here have a 6-second silence. So, needless to say that that is a problem. And of course, densely populated cave on top of that is an issue as well. All of the shamans are running one-handed weapons, no enhancers here. Oops. Well, that would have been a problem if I would have needed to flee all by myself. Yeah, as you can see, there is no easy out in this cave. Once you're in, you're in. Like, it's that simple. And once you have committed here, there is definitely no way out. There is way too fast respawn for you to handle that all by yourself, even if you're like hyper buffed. And someone failed the quest and the enemies didn't despawn. Good. We're picking them in packs of 3. And as you can see, they are dealing quite a bit of damage, so going in all by ourselves would not be the right call here. Also don't have any stat food with me. That in itself is a bit of a failure. Need to get some more. Yeah, the screechers. That's the problem. Lots and lots of them. Yeah, well, with that bugged quest, I would have definitely not made it out alive. Very good. Let's get out. Bugged quest. That's crazy if you think about them simply not despawning. Yeah, I think there would have been a very, very low chance of me surviving that, maybe with shield and our dagger, but then I would have been lacking the overall DPS in order to get things down. Very good. So, we successfully survived that, which is not too bad. So now it's time to trade it in. And see what the follow-up quest is. Alrighty, back to the trade-in. Now that we've survived your test of endurance, this guy is having a sketch. Okay. Fragments of Rockalim. I think that was a stone elemental. Let's try to find that one. Good. We found him. Also found a rare mob. And for that, we're going to do this and a little bit of that. And here we go. Engage the pounder. Immune to nature damage. So unfortunately our earth shocks and so on don't work against him. But the rest is fine. And we're back to trade in. Alright, so since the follow-up quest for that test is now in Stone Talon, pretty far away, we're instead going to do a little Wyvern quest. Collecting all of these nice little eggs here. I'll be switching it up a little bit. One hand in shield for now. Want to see how well that fares. We're still decently buffed, so things should be okay. It's less burst damage, but more just consistent ability to kill mobs. Specifically, if a mob is adding, you're not in immediate danger. Good. So we need to clear this area, basically get 10 of the high-perched Wyvern eggs, and then make our way to Paukar Swift Mountain to save them. So this area is the area of escorts. We have plenty of them, 2 to be precise. Both of them are in quite remote locations, actually.
I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Let's compare both of the weapon choices. So this effectively going one-handed weapon, and let's just compare that to two-handed weapon. Same ordeal. strikes slower, but hits much harder when it hits. About same loss of hit points, but just way faster killing speed. I think I'll stay with this two-hand weapon. Can always swap back to shield, to board and sword, or board and dagger in that particular case. But yeah, the crits for 200 plus are of course a very, very convincing way of dealing with it. It's funny, I'm not enhancer as a shaman type, and they are the only ones getting two-handed weapons, but there is the odd exception of staves that everybody can use, and whilst the majority of classes will likely not use the staff to deal damage, for the shaman it is different. They can benefit from the high DPS. Granted, staffs typically don't have the best stats for melee attacking, so there isn't. I think there is actually one staff with a lot of strength on it, but that's the exception and not the norm. Most of them are caster staves. That poison cleansing totem comes in super clutch, saves me a lot of mana. And the occasional heal here and there, really not that bad. But we needed to kill a lot of them to even get 2 eggs. Let's make the most of our time whilst they are despawned, because there are only a finite amount of egg spawning locations. So, and you can see we're making the most of that time by basically farming those very locations. Another one back there. Alright, after the next one I think I'll just fast forward the rest for you. I think everybody got the gist of what's going to happen here. Just slaughtering of a lot of wyverns. Good, fast forward. Good, so we collected all of the eggs, made our way all the way up to the top here, and it's time to help you to get out of here. And the way that we're going to do that is by mercilessly slaughtering every single wyvern in the way. I think there was even one ambush with 2 or 3 of them, but we should be fine. Pauka looks unbothered, and so are we. The cool part about it is if you're collecting the eggs first and then move in, your kill trail will still be there, and half of the way towards the exit there won't be any wyvern. These guys here are just flying out and about. They're not targetable enemies. Alright, come on, Pow. Step it up a little bit, pal. Let's talk about what we're going to do next. Afterwards, Sacred Fire is a good one. That's basically killing elementals and collecting stuff down there, and then on top of it we can collect 3 nodes, do another escort quest and do a wanted quest. Arnok, the leader of the tribe on top of these mountains. So that's essentially 3 quests in one. And then I think other than the assassination plot, we have pretty much cleared most of the stuff. We'll be level 30. I will potentially get the 2 Razorfang Crowl quests that I'd be curious to finish, and maybe get an RFK group. If not, doesn't really matter too much, because we will have other quest areas. There's a little bit of hill spread left over, which I would want to do. There is definitely a Arathi Highlands, which is a great place to start. Oh, and before I forget, of course, we got Shimmering Flats over here. How could I have forgotten about that? Yeah, respawn will happen back here. We got to be careful. Experienced questers will know that we're right in the respawn area now. So we're just about kind of in the middle of the respawn, which means I'm always checking our back. Good, taking care of this guy. Whilst Pao is still catching up. First ambush, and I think last ambush is in the middle of that field. We just gotta make sure that we're not pulling all of them. Power is easy to pull a couple of these wyverns, but if we're far enough ahead of him, I think we should be fine. The only thing that we can't afford is totem aggro. So let's clear this guy here. And I'm deliberately not placing totems this time. Just killing the wyvern. That's where the ambush happens. Alright, and we've just skipped 2 of the ambushers. By having a little bit clever, more clever positioning. And no totems that could draw aggro. Alright, that's 2 quests done. And I wonder if we do those 3, no 4 actually, 1, 2, the wanted quest and the escort quest, then we do have quite a few quests that should maybe propel us into 20-30% of the next level even. Not bad at all, if I may say so. Not bad at all. Alright, fast forward for you guys. Nothing serious going to happen here. I'll do the elementals off screen. That's really not that interesting. I think the top of the hills quest, that is a bit more interesting because it's a dangerous one. Good, we're done with the elemental quest, which was down here, and we've also dinged 30. Not too bad. That'll give us a bit of an edge for what's to come. Because we will need to go through quite a few of these Grim Totems, and I am thinking that I'll just do it as follows. The Grim Totems themselves are not that dangerous in isolation. It's more the number of them once you do the escort quest. So I think what I will do is I'll just fight myself my way in. There are 3 notes that need to be obtained. One is basically here, here, and here, and I'll get those 3 first, then make my way over to the escort location, and there we can then start the actual escort way, which is going to be interesting because it contains quite a bit of moving and fighting of like multiple packs. Luckily I do have target dummies. Also got my totems, so we should be fine.
That's still recharging.
Good. Fast forward. Alright, we have made our way all the way over. We got all of the 3 notes, and now it's just a matter of cleaning up the rest here and starting the escort quest. We're on a little bit of a soft timer, and by that I mean the respawn behind us will severely impede our way of getting out of here, and the more we can skip by essentially having it cleared beforehand, the better. So there's Arnak as well, level 29. Getting him down will be huge. But I'm not sure if we can solo pull him. We're going to try. Okay, works out very well. This here will be our zone where we are going to flee or retreat to if things go wrong on the quest, because we really can't jump down. That's a bit of a problem. Alright, this guy isn't even casting.
That's still recharging.
Good, almost ready.
Greetings,
Good,
traveler.
let's get out of here. Our great escape plan will be to march as fast as we can. Just try to ignore many of the enemies or pull them early. I unfortunately don't have a really good way of crowd controlling or buffing myself up front. That's unfortunate. So many of these little islands will spawn 2 to 3 ambushers, which by themselves is not a problem. It is a problem though if you're running into like 2 or 3 mobs that are already there. So the trick will be to clear the islands before we're actually being ambushed. This one here was already cleared, but here the respawn happened. So this is a bit dangerous because respawn could happen at any point in time. Good, we're just going to kill one at a time, let her tank a little bit, because she can do that by a little bit, I mean, actually a little bit, not a lot. And one of the downsides now is that this here will be heavily populated by respawn in a second. So we gotta be super careful. This is the sketchy part, or the most sketchy part about this quest. Yeah, there's the respawn happening, which means there's really only a limited way back. Can't let her get on top there, because that will trigger more spawns. Therefore, as long as she's not marching, the trigger for the event isn't happening. Which means if we can pull these guys in, that'll still be fine. We'll have a very short window to heal up. Which is basically now. And now the next trigger starts. With a class that can crowd control like my mage, this here it's actually relatively easy. You can stall, you can drink, you can make sure that things are okay, but with a class like a shaman there isn't that much crowd control opportunities. You're basically either nuking them down and are successful with that, or you do have a problem. By the way, same issue here as with the last isle. You really need to get these guys down. Getting one of them low. Need to go for efficient use of mana here. Any food that we do have? No. Fortunately not. Man, we're completely overloaded as well.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready.
Stoneclaw Totem, so that she doesn't need to tank as much. Focus fire on one of them. And Magma Totem for AoE damage. I think that's pretty much it.
My mana is low.
We're past the crux. The rest is, I wouldn't say smooth sailing, but we're now kind of on the final victory lap. I don't think there's another ambush. It's just bringing her home. Okay, it's definitely doable even with a class without crowd control, but you need to time the fights accurately. Otherwise you do have a bit of a problem. Alright, let me finish this. I'll fast forward it for you guys, and then we're going to trade in for a massive XP bump. Good, this is the fun part. We are finally trading in all of the quests. And remember how I said we might be 20% in? Might have been wrong. We may have been in for way more than that.
Something special. Greeting.
Good, we got 2 more quests here. Nice little leather outfit. Straight upgrade to ours.
Be at your back.
And a couple of upgraded boots.
Be careful.
Thank you. Got some fly attire there. And we're already 30% in, by the way.
Wish to speak?
That's not an upgrade, but that is still very good money. So, we're looking at a solid 36% in, which is fantastic. On top of which, there are a couple of things that we can buy here. Definitely going to go with a scroll of intellect and 2 scrolls of protection for later. Also going to be some good buffs for us. Self buffs, because we were missing those. Alright, that brings us to the end of today's episode, guys. I think that was a great one so far. I'll be doing some chores, need to get talents, need to start the Wind Fury quest, and quite frankly need to do a couple of trade skills. So lots to do behind the scenes. Thank you, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.